Katowice, I think we're ready for another semi. Hello? All right. Let's do it with Harry and Hugo.
Team Liquid, after yesterday's performance, that comeback versus Vitality, they wrote their name in the history books, but off in the distance, there was this perfect storm of G2 brewing, and it's here now in the semi-final.
Yeah, you can feel the atmosphere changing every second as we get ready to get into map one of this series. A semi with a final or opposition already awaiting in Heroic. They are waiting for this one, and G2 are destined to meet them. Can Liquid keep up an incredible tournament, or will it be the final boss in the way? A B play for G2, and everyone's here.
Oh, and already, that's the opener that Nico wanted. Him and JKS side by side to get in. Yakinda out of ammo and traded. Hooksy gets the better of him. Now it all falls to Nitro. He's got 2 guns, 2 opponents still to find. But it's Nico and Hooksy on the other side, and they're playing this one together.
Yeah, an unlikely brotherhood, but what an amalgamation that these two have put together in the last few weeks and the last couple of months for G2. Quite the winning streak. And Nitro, even though he's had an incredible tournament, an especially good quarterfinal yesterday, this should be too hot to handle. No kit, smoke on the bomb, time already eluding him, and he knows it, getting tagged through it. He's forcing the fight. Hooksy dies for Nico, but that's enough. It's done. G2 take the pistol.
Big moves made from Nico to open this one up. It was him with that double opener, and then the one to close it as well. That's going to bode well for G2.
Yeah, let's talk about the form they have coming into this game. Obviously, having not played in the Spodek yet, coming straight through to the semi-finals after an impressive group stage, and boy, was it impressive. It's been impressive ever since the end of last year. Back in Abu Dhabi, winning on a hot streak, 10 best of 3s in a row, a single map dropped in the midst of those matches. G2 in form we've never seen before, and almost a certainty to take the trophy here in the Spodek. All eyes are on them. And that pressure, will it build G2 up, or will they crumble under it? Not Nico's first time to dance. He's got the AK, the 1 AK in this round. G2 brought up, pushing into middle, and Liquid are forced on the other side, ready to receive its only a Liege.
Yeah, he's in a bit of a tricky spot, so going to back up. Gives a bit of room to G2 over here in middle. OC is peeling on over. And Naf, hello. Even getting aggressive over towards B. Liquid have started to piece together what's meant to be happening in this round, and so they're moving everyone over, getting in the right spot. This wraparound finds success.
Wow.
They will knock out OC, and they even find Nitro pushed up in main with Naf out of the round. It's just Yakinda, and that one comes up short. Monacy, it's his turn for the triple kill.
Hey, he just won Rookie of the Year minutes ago down on this very stage, and it was at Katowice last year in 22, his first LAN, his debut on a stage as well, and boy did he kick up a storm. He caused a ruckus, Harry. What a debut for this guy, and now back where it all began. He's hunting for the trophy that he was so close to last year that just eluded him. And even one of those trophy winners on his side this time in JKS.
Yeah, you know, if you really wanted to try and look for when that tipping point happened, it very much was at the end of last year in Abu Dhabi for this G2 squad. JKS, love that. Bit of a stat pad round. Oh dear, hang on.
Wait.
Hang on a moment. This is starting to get real close. Nitro's only got a USP, but he's fared well with it so far. Hunter's got him boxed in. Shouldn't be a kill for Nitro, surely. But this is already a very expensive round. Hunter puts a stop to it, returns a bit of normality. Don't know how that one got so close so quickly after JKS multi-kill to open. That's also 3 triple kills from a different player to open up every round of this game.
That's exactly what you need from G2, right? You need them firing on good form coming into this series if they were going to do it. They may be favorites, but they've got to prove it here and now, today. to warm up for that grand final. And yeah, I love that aggressive A play for Liquid. Either way, we see a lot of that in gun rounds, just single rifles pushing with flashes. Liquid trying to mass the whole team there. Meanwhile, G2 changed the grain. Back to that first site they found. OC's AWP blinded in middle. Hooksy has that dark control, and everyone else for G2 stacked outside of long.
Looking to keep it pretty cut and dry. Util raining in, streams over the top of the site, but it's Yakindar and Naf to open up. Now, they are already out. Expecting a little more respect here with Nafly, but he's still good for another. He's done his job in this round.
Wow.
And now just m0NESY low on health. And a 1v3 to find. These smokes are about to fade, and there's a lot more angles open now.
You won't find many rounds. We can count m0NESY out, but this will be one of them. OC taps him with a pistol. This time, the local, he can believe it. It was correct. And he'll put Liquid on the board with their first round here on the CT side. This map's still pretty undecided in, T to CT. We see a lot of teams picking into T sides to begin, being very comfortable. G2 are one of them right here, right now. It's Liquid's map choice. G2 chose to start on the offensive. Even had some of that coming in yesterday with Outsiders on Inferno. They lived to regret it. But I don't expect that same case for G2. Armed and dangerous again, but still with 2 MAC-10s. It's not perfect. And that late nade is for Liquid. Nico eats lead. Bit of shrapnel. A setup in A main with the AWP. And Liquid leaving B fairly undefended, but no reason to worry yet.
Very measured to open this one up. Util starts to come out over in mid. We're going to have this clash of AWPers, and OC wins out that head-to-head versus m0NESY. Nitro there, helping out every step of the way, and this mid-wrap is contained. OC keeps them boxed in. Behind the pillar, JKS has whittled down that AWP with the nade as well, so OC's living on borrowed time here. 50 seconds left. Hunter and JKS aren't in this one together, but they can try and split this A site right now. Hunter will find his successes onto Naf. Not going to open up a route to the rotate, though. JKS has that bomb, and he doesn't want to risk going back right now. They don't know if this canals area is clear.
Yakindar not flanking is such a nice play here. He's still going to have audio towards B, and he might even catch Hunter in transition. This is an angle that Hunter should not be checking so late in the round, but Yakindar turns at the worst possible time. Nothing to send him that way, and Hunter will shoot him in the back of the head. The B site is gone. Elite cannot stop the bomb. It will get down just in time.
Couple of seconds, the difference. And suddenly G2 are in with a chance. JKS! Looking to ride this one all the way to the bank. It's just OC in the hot seat now, low on HP from his skirmish versus JKS earlier on. Looking for a way back in. But with Hunter holding this wide, there shouldn't be a world for OC. It's a beautiful crossfire that comes through for G2. And it's fitting that JKS, someone with a chance to win Katowice back-to-back under 2 different organizations. He shows up in that moment there, really, helping steal this one away.
Yeah, the first time that would be done by any individual as well. Of course, we had Fnatic with back-to-back 2015, 2016, but under the same organization with the same roster. This would be quite a tale for the Australian from an underrepresented region and country in its own right. What an awkward turnaround for Yakindar in that round as well. The paranoia, paramount to get G2 back in it with 10 seconds remaining. 4-1 on the T side. It's a damn good start. Elite with a mid smoke, but he fires right through. Looked like a bit of a gap. Hunter tried to abuse it. And that's an opener for Liquid that goes untraded. No response yet from G2. They grab the gun, they regroup.
They've gone out and played their opening hand. They come up short in that mid spam. These are hard rounds to build back into. But we just saw on the player cams, Hooksy being very vocal, trying to cook up a solution here. Smokes down over towards A, so the progress is slow out of JKS. That's all well and good. He can wait for this mid component to get set up in the meantime. Might even have this chance to find Nitro, who is toying with the idea of coming through this. Gonna start to get aggressive now, and JKS just waits, will be rewarded. That's the equalizer found.
A splits quick. JKS doesn't need to rush. The bulk is coming from middle, but there's still 2 CTs here. They didn't know about a Liege, and he slams the hammer down. 4 kills in a second as he eviscerates. That's the ace for a Liege.
Unreal. Nearly 8 years in this Liquid squad, and look at him go. He still impresses us till this day.
Wow.
Opens the round with that kill through the smoke on a Hunter, and no one was ready for him to do that. Good sign of things with the Liege getting switched on. It was him on Overpass who was the kind of, early foundations getting built of that comeback. It was the later activation of the rest of the gang inspired by Liege's performances. Oopsie, boxed in, trapped in a corner, but he's cooked up a way to deal with him. Oh, the nade will fall a little short. And so Hooksy's still alive.
Somehow. Deeks into B. Nico needs that opener. Hunter will fall first, and Yekit is playing the pillar. He's dancing, pole dancing right now until JKS finds that trade. There's a lot of room garnered by this utility. G2 might be able to even get a plant, but Liquid have the numbers, they have the kits, they have the nades.
This one's getting farmed up though. JKS tries to make a bit of a play, ends up feeding the beast. It's a Liege getting switched on. Another multi-kill round, critically as well. Yakindar was involved there as they try to come into his bomb site. And so Liquid are piecing this one together early.
Yeah, it's nice. It's very competitive from the get-go as well. Liquid's map pick. They needed to start strong, and they've now, again, broken G2's money, put them down, not just to a force buy, but now to even less so. Whereas on the T side, G2 need to challenge the energy of the Spodek, sitting in their favor, singing their praises. The continental advantage, at least for now. But it didn't help Vitality. And that's why you have to be somewhat bought into this idea that Liquid could do something incredible today. You can't count them out of the possibility. With this tournament in a whole, for Liquid, it's been a revenge run. It's been just an incredible story. They started it by taking down Spirit in the group, the team that locked them out in that 2-2 matchup back at Rio. They went on to stop FaZe from achieving the Grand Slam here in Katowice, where it began for them last year. And they even pulled a monumental comeback of Dreams against Vitality last night to eliminate them as well. Liquid have already done the stuff of legends, but this is the big bad boss.
Yeah, it's that Team Liquid revenge arc that they're embarking upon. For G2, this was the team they faced off against in the grand finals for Blast at Abu Dhabi, right? Getting taken down there, the kind of beginning of this perfect storm for G2 was one where they had to do the dirty to Team Liquid. It's always fun to watch a revenge arc develop. Naf and OC both donning AWPs here. Bit of a change. OC scoped up, looking for a fight early in the round.
Definitely a good map for a double AWP. We've seen a lot of teams lean into doing this on CT sides. Rotation times aren't always quick, especially if you lose middle. That beach rotation between A and B can take some time to climb up those stairways either which way. So Naf locks down B, Ruins for now, and Monacy eat to re-smoke at middle. A reboost to gain that information. They put the AK up. And usually players like to walk through this smoke while you have the boost up in play, but G2 have no one in middle at the moment. JKS is going to come back and reunite, perhaps. Go grab that bomb outside of the B site. But Liquid still wait patiently with Naf, not having thrown a single bit of utility, waiting to take his first shot before he starts lobbing in the nades. He'll give them to his teammate. This is where this one's ending up for G2. And it's under-defended, but there will be a flank.
Yeah, there has to be. With so much resources dedicated over towards A, Liquid have got to get a move on here and grabbing this info and starting to move in on the backstab. Indar with some spam damage, but that's only tempted Hooksy in. He knows he's low on ammo, so he's got a little window here. Hooksy's mopped up, but it's Hunter with the opener. Naf alone. Boxed in with this AWP, can't find a thing. Nitro fighting for control of Dark has given them a means back into this round, and with Elige alongside him, it's gonna fall to this 1v1. Plant for Nico. OC's not moved a muscle yet, but the pressure's on his shoulders. Nico lives for these moments. Looking away at just the wrong time, it's OC to deliver in the clutch.
Can't say that every day, right? Taking down a Titan like Nico, who does not get nervous in these situations, but he read that timing completely wrong. He thought OC had already wrapped the bomb site. The rookie, patient, breathed and waited for Nico to make that mistake. That he did. Liquid with that quick flank with an under-defended and under-fragged B bomb site rely to Nitro and Elige coming in on the back line, and they deliver. They set OC up for the clutch.
And in an interview recently, Elige said, right, OC's biggest problem is confidence. He knows what to do, but he doubts himself in these critical moments. And I think, you know, with the victories they've picked up with the teams, this revenge storyline that we've been looking at for Team Liquid, those are the victories that inspire confidence. Those are the ones that make you believe you've got what it takes and that all this work is paying off. And I feel like we've seen that reflect in OC's game. He's looked a damn sight better here.
Building into it, and no better time to do so. Liquid take the lead on the CT side of this first map, and again put G2 down to pennies, to pistols. The double orb won't remain. They had the money for it. They choose against it. Naf only got one out of it. G2, do they have anything exciting? We keep seeing this double A main setup that is so potent to have an AWP here. And when m0NESY went for the peak earlier against OC with an AWP of his own, he lost out in the duel. Hooksy lining up an exec, perhaps, for this B site. Man's been doing his homework. Mid-mollies to burn out either side, house and door. Is somebody home? Because Elige abandons with that molly from A. He has to force a decision, and he'll go back to anchor the site. That's going to give G2 a really nice wrap on this round. They're going to go through Temple. They're going to flank Naf. Sneaky boy.
Yeah, this is really big for Hunter. His team have already hit the go button.
Oh, he has no
Naf's
idea.
got no clue. Reloading, caught by the mid flank. And Nitro's missed this timing on the push through canals. JKS now knows about him, and Liquid, they've slowed right down. If they're not given a reason to go for this one soon, they might just have to save. Their fates might already be decided. Elige is looking for that reason to believe, that little bit of hope, but he is deleted. Nitro can't get involved. They learned about him earlier on, and OC is running for the hills. This is a G2 round, and Nico's even there to rub salt in the wound.
Ouch. That stings. Hunter the hero. I feel like that was a miscom for Liquid. Elige sees 3 Molotovs come through, 2 in middle and 1 in the connector. He knows they're trying to force him back out of middle, and it seems like Naf wasn't even aware of the possibility, the off chance that a player could be working behind that util. That definitely should have been a possibility communicated to Naf, because he just gets shot in the back on a reload. Lovely lurk for Hunter though, and he goes on to stop the retake in its tracks.
And I love that, you know, it's ballsy to go through your own smoke that's down in mid to even facilitate that wrap. G2 keeping it, you know, kind of towing that line between simple and risky. Ooh, m0NESY with the opener, clashes with OC. The orbs meet and m0NESY comes out ahead this time around. Revenge for that earlier round over towards A. Nitro's retrieved the AWP through middle, rolling back the years.
Yeah, this ain't overpass though. So what can he do with it? Elige, I like this spot in mid, but they can sneak past on the door, and they're going to peek him together. Oh, Elige flicks back. How is he alive? He's got an AWP by his side. They need to pick their targets. They need to pick their positions, because right now G2 are coming in on the flank. They've already worked their way out A. Nitro's going to have to drop a smoke, and Molly forces him to recommit to middle, and Yakinda's even found Hooksy out of that position. Nico goes one step too far. 2-on-4 in a post plant. G2, can they really do it?
They are boxed in. We've got players coming from all sides here, so they've really got to hit these shots. And with that one only landing the tag, m0NESY's forced out of position. Him and JKS trying to take real estate back. They will take Heaven away. Now they move up. JKS on this close angle needs to get cleared, but he wins that fight. Naf brings it down in a 1v1. And m0NESY times the swing perfectly. Hell of a round from the m0NESY JKS duo.
What a post plant as well. And Liquid, they let their eyes off of the A site for 1 second, and look what it does to them. Stacked up at mid, Hooksy finds the gap. And G2 laugh all the way to a 6th round. Beautiful shooting for m0NESY. One missed shot in that entire round, and he still had 1 bullet left. That's all he needed, all it took. Finally breaking the banks of Liquid after a lovely little streak on this CT side. And look at the room afforded as a result. All of mid to themselves. Naf again, very aggressive. The 2 times he's flanked B, he's found a nice little gap for this mid play. But they will turn around, they will check it. Nico, not gonna let you get away with this. Easy clean up for G2 against the Pistols. No casualties yet, and none foreseen. Oops.
Spoke a little too soon on that one there. But it should just be that one and done. OC floating around the heavens, caught on an awkward timing. And locked out of the round as they all have to sit back and watch Yakinda save. JKS denies it, won't even let him get out with the little victories, with the little win. Not today anyhow. Timeout called for Liquid. Chance for Daps to get involved. Got to try and cook up some solutions here because they can feel how the nature of this game has changed in these last few rounds. And they're now in this very awkward spot where very quickly this game can snowball, right? If G2 keep finding success on the T side, these rounds are going to hit like 2-for-1s. The sooner you can stop that, the better.
Liquid only had a lead for a second, and immediately it's crept right back by G2. And Hooksy, while not providing the fragging department, has put together some nice T-side rounds already in this game. Any more in the tank? Warps galore. OC starts A solo this time, and m0NESY hopes for a mid pick, but without an AWP, Liquid shouldn't be giving these ones over. The boost is ready in case the smoke comes down. Liquid have been doing these smokes very late often. Hunter's even up ahead of it as Nico walks close. There's been so much util in mid. For a change, now there's not. G2, creep and crawl, Nico in the window. And he's going to get set up.
Pop flashed in. Timing being played with by Nitro. Wasn't blinded, but still falls. Elige, they line up. And he might have just rescued the round there. He's done all he had to over in middle. Nico, who was dinked in that skirmish with Nitro earlier on, has to take the AWP. Yakinda doesn't know it, but even a bit of spam here. Even a little bit of spam could knock Nico out of the round. He's just waiting for this B push, and it's something that Naf has done time and time again, but this time he's over towards middle. Not wanting to contest this B long area, instead trying to get this info, and that's the bomb spotted over here in mid.
Yeah, now he knows they're still defaulting. They're not in a hurry to pick a bomb site. They're not committed yet. Well, they may be set up and waiting for flanks. Liquid don't want to make any proactive plays. Naf, though, he wants a reswing. He wants another fight, and he's going to get it. Hooksy wins it, though. That's the B-side open for business, but JKS is not poised to go that side of the map. They've got to split the AWP.
Oh, the lineup!
Skewered!
Crushing dreams for OC. Mid is locked out and JKS has got to do it alone.
Wow.
Chance at the fight, but not gonna happen. Not with the time left on the clock. OC, a robbery.
You've talked about his resurgence individually, right? Yeah, the confidence has certainly got to be there when you're knocking out names like this on big stages. Saving Liquid yesterday up against what were the Titans, their biggest foes in the Danes. OC breathes life into Liquid once again, and m0NESY wants some revenge. Mid defaults have been really solid though for G2, but this might be dry.
Oh, it is, and OC loves that you don't flash him there. No way, he's not going back, surely. Surely he's not going back. Yeah, he's not, he's out of there. We'll concede this mid-fight.
Oh.
Kindar locked in a separate 1v1 of his own, but doesn't want to overstay the welcome here out on this island over towards Long. Gets out after the fight. And now Liquid sit pretty in the 5-on-3. Thing that makes it so exciting is with OC, you know, being the second highest rated Liquid player right now, looking real lights out. We kind of enter uncharted territory in this guy's, you know, individual path on the big stages. It's always been the case that he's kind of crumbled under the pressure. And so the big question is, how good do they look when OC's switched online?
How deep can we go, right? What more is in the tank? Elige gets a dink. m0NESY misses his chance, and it's going to be Hunter. Spam down to 7 as well. Elige putting pressure on middle. JKS got to hit this flick if Nitro swings. Is there even a flash? There's no need. Nitro taking him down and leaving Hunter to save, tail between his legs. And yeah, let's talk OC, because again, he's reared his head in a big way in this game. We talked about his previous couple of playoff matches on big stages, starting at Cologne. Lost to Movistar, second bottom of the board, an underwhelming event. Same thing happened against Heroic in Copenhagen, second bottom of the board, nothing spectacular. And the AWPer cannot afford to be that down low. Not in the current meta, but not today either. Oh dear, it won't be after time. He at least gets that loss bonus, but Nitro takes the gun out of his hands at the last second. And that's m0NESY's AWP. Any chance of it in this final round gone. Sure, it's a decent T side for G2, but it could have been so much more.
Well, we're neck and neck heading into round 15. The money's not there for G2, but they found success on buys like this before. Gonna have to channel that opener energy for Nico. Have him get involved early. He's taking this hero gun with him over towards main, where OC lies in wait. Aren't they trying to get involved over in mid? There is a bounty of util dropped here for Liquid. They've left it in middle. Interesting idea. You can grab that on the rotate if this comes down to a retake. OC just needs to hit this opening shot, and he will deliver. Looking like a whole different beast. Back on the angle. OC with another. Why stop there? 3 found from the NA AWPer. The bomb tumbles away. Nico's trying to play his hand, trying to get involved. The temptation to pick up the AWP is just too strong. Oh, looking away at the wrong time. It's left to Hunter on this mid play. We've been talking about G2 as the coming storm off on the distance, while Liquid, they're weathering the storm right now. They lead the way coming into this second half, 8-7 up. A convincing CT side under their belt. The NA hope, it burns bright to open up this semi-final series.
And G2, they've got to wake up right now. They've got to show that star power, or Liquid will sweep them back under that rug. T side now for Liquid on their map pick. Surely where they're comfortable, surely where they've got things slipped up their sleeve. Lots of util over that A site. There is no waiting around in this pistol. A smoke down for G2, but Liquid are going through.
Odyssey up close, now the only man between them and an A play. But they give him respect only for a moment. They're all through that smoke now. Nitro with the reply. Monacy does all he can in that position. Getting out with a double has left G2 in an even odds bout. But Elige taking matters into his own hands forces the issue. And now they're sat pretty. They're just fighting this every step of the way. Hunter's getting sent back in a mid. This is going to leave the pressure on Nico. Oh, he's deleted!
Wow.
And Elige follows up with another!
The clouds part and the sun shines down on Liquid. A pistol on top of a winning half. G2. They're getting all they ordered and more. This revenge arc, this revenge story of Liquid running through this entire tournament is keeping up. G2 are meant to be the ones to stop it, but right now it's slipping through their fingers. A force buy, a desperate call. One that will dig shallow graves for G2 if it doesn't work their way.
G2 are making a bit of a move over here towards A. Right, they've got a lot of bodies over towards this side of the map, so eventually they've got to do something with them.
This is a nade, not a flash.
Very measured from Team Liquid here, not jumping the gun on this one. They don't want to let this round get away from them. Yakindar looking to be that first point of contact. Spotted over towards Dark. He still doesn't know about this second man just yet. Nico flushed out of mid. The molly doesn't quite finish him off, but it does displace him. Makes holding mid that much harder. Liquid started to develop a bit of a foothold here on the map. 40 seconds left. Eventually, they are going to have to make a move.
Yeah, this is getting really, really late. This is running out of time. Liquid don't have a lot of map control. They haven't even cleared Dark, but the kills are coming to them. Hooksy holds off. He sees Hunter fall. He needs taps, and he lands one. Not able to finish off Elige. The aggression on the flank will work. They're still going to make it into B, though. JKS trying to clear that angle with util of his own, and Nico, he's been burnt, he's been shot, you've poked the bear. Will he growl back? 3 health, 14 on JKS. It's up to the kid.
Honestly moving in, so much weighted on this first fight with Yakindar, and he will win that out. Maybe that spurs them on to give this one a go. Rest of the gang were kind of moving away, but now they're interested. Monacy's given them that reason to believe, and he's going to take it one step further. Belief is a fine thing, and with OC dead, Nico swinging out. Monacy kickstarts that round, and Nico is there to finish it off.
What a force buy for G2, but Elige definitely overfaces that one. His teammates probably feeling the pressure, calling for help in the site, but if Elige never faces that time, that clock, it would have let G2 down with no kit. What a round from Monacy nonetheless. Hit every kill he had to. But that's a fumbled bag for Liquid. The cash spills out, and G2 win a force. Trying to bring the hype. It was here on this stage he made his name last year. Showed us what he could truly do as such a young player, such an unproven talent. His rating for this Katowice is even better than that of his debut. And that's so far, because there's more in the cannon for G2. There's more for Monacy, even if it's only another map. G2 want to make it a whole nother series, a whole nother grand final.
They're about to come through this. This is nice and easy for Nico. Just a chance to pad the stats, really. It's only Glocks to worry about. There's this one Deagle on Elige, but it's already wounded. And so G2 are looking to make this a tie game. Now, the cleaner they can keep this round, the better. Monacy Not moving a muscle, holds on to the play out through A, and even calls for JKS to move in and join him. Not a way back into this one for Liquid. That Deagle retreat.
Oh!
Nitro, that's clean. All right then, the captain's trying to give them a reason. A way in to this round, but JKS stands the test of time. And with that, we're all tied up again. Might have come into this second half feeling good for Team Liquid, right? They win that pistol. But we have the force back completed now for G2. This is where Liquid have got to get their revenge. It's a bonus round attempt for the G2 squad. This is the best shot Liquid are going to have.
Yeah, fast as well, Liege. Been the star of the show for Liquid. He's going to lead it in the front line fast through that Molotov. There's two in the way, though. And look who he's meeting, Nico, who needs to get activated now, if not never, but he is a late game player. Liege waits patiently, but he has two angles to consider and really does now as they start to aggress up through A main. Nico goes through that smoke and chases the kill down below. That's only going to reinforce the B setup. Hooksy's on a rotation in, and Liquid are about to announce.
Yeah, only too strong here on the hold, but with Hooksy finding success and slowing this down, the util is perfect. Nitro finally finds a bit of safety, a little corner inside of this site to hide out in. But now he's got to make the play to try and bring them back in, with Nico having already been pulled around. It's left to OC in the 1v4. First kill presents itself, but he's brought down low, and JKS remains composed as he walks that one over the line.
Yeah, JKS has been the most solid player for G2 in this game, right? Without a doubt. Monacy's hit his fair share of shots, but JKS with many multi-kills, shutting out these late rounds. No stranger to the spot egg. And more pistols for Liquid. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Alicia's crept up, but we haven't seen a great success rate on these dark fights for Team Liquid. Nico's even pushing and prodding up through middle. It's scary that, you know, this is the second time he's done that now. He's feeling a great deal of confidence that he can just kind of get involved on a whim in these mid-fights. That's something Liquid might have to address. It's left them a man down. Now Hooksy's dug that hole even deeper with a smoke in main. They break these two fights apart. They leave themselves a separate series of engagements, and now it's just Nitro left. A clean round looking to come through the pipeline for G2.
Nico looking a lot more confident, even dropping on flank to get these ecos, making sure that nothing can possibly go wrong. And Nitro delaying the inevitable, but the flank will make it so, if not Nico. And there it is. 11 rounds now to the side of G2. 5 alive as they build bank on the defense. And a timeout as well called for Team Liquid to get ahead of this. For G2 on the other side, we're going to hear from Swanee. An interesting talking point. It was nice to hear this guy chat on HLTV Confirmed about his role inside of the team. New to the coach, at least to the main coaching role, joined G2 all the way back in 2019 as an analyst. Rose through the ranks, now sits and stands right behind this star-studded roster. As of only this year as well. Hooksy was even talking about sometimes not even wanting Swanee to call timeouts and the disagreements they have there. How you don't want to take the flow out of the game. It's something that Daps for Liquid has also struggled with, trying to micromanage with such little time. 11-9, and Liquid need an answer.
Yeah, they need that hero to bring them back into the fold. You know, we credited Elise yesterday for kickstarting that comeback on Overpass. In a similar vein, we need that hero figure to appear. Because if it doesn't, G2 might just swallow you whole. You're in the eye of the storm now, Team Liquid. Monacy aggro over towards main.
They know there's two. An orb shot, then a smoke down in the same second. There was no time for that. Liquid have realized what they're running into. They're going to change their mind, go back to middle.
Trying to box Nico in over here in mid. He's had a lot of freedom in these last few rounds, but they've dispatched the Liege to deal with him. This is ballsy from Hooksy. He's deep behind enemy lines here, fighting for it and holding on. From meme to Messiah, he might have just saved this one. A big double for Hooksy, dropping the bomb. And even then, he's still going for more. He's still forcing the issue here all the way into their spawn. Oh, will bite off a little more than he can chew. Gives that one to Elige. They know where the bomb is. They know the end goal here with so little time left. Nico is even keeping a watchful eye on it, and Elige has slowed right down. Doesn't feel like Liquid have got the time, got it left in the tank to go for this round as Elige bounds in. He needed that, and Nico will not give it to him.
Again, G2, they just don't fear to set Hooksy up for kills, and he has been improving individually. The fact that he gets away with both shots there, unsuspecting of the first player as he flicks back. Who knew that this is what G2 needed to take championships? But Nico's championed him. An in-game leader he respects, one that demands a lot from the roster, that holds players accountable, to shout to them when they need shouting to. Is Hooksy the full package? Can G2 pull this one back? From an unfavorable first half, no pistol in the second. JKS wrestled by Elige. It's Nitro to get that kill, and Nico again mollied off of Con. Can't come through that smoke either. Liquid, this is such a favorable position. If only they didn't have pistols. They're going to swap out guns, get Ykinda armed, and now even more dangerous he needs to be, the young Latvian in the post plant, as G2 weigh up whether they can consider this retake.
A lot's going to be weighted on how this first fight goes, and well, Hooksy will win it out, but the trade is immediate. Will that entice you to want to go for this one? Still a man down, and Ykinda's making matters worse. Nitro, a big round from this guy, gets the opener, gets upgraded onto that rifle, and then has his way with this G2 squad. Nico's left saving. From seeing him have all this freedom in mid just a few rounds ago, they've done a good job of keeping him boxed in here. And the moment you get all that space over towards A, you're not getting faced by m0NESY alongside JKS, you breathe a sigh of relief. You know that that A hold is that much weaker as a result.
Yeah, this is a great game, on Anubis, a very new map, one that teams are still trying to figure out, but we're seeing a wealth of utility on these T sides, some of the Molotov combos, even that eco win for G2 in the first half with the triple molly that pushed the Liege back, that allowed to Hunter to mid-flank, throw in that molly smoke combo that locked Nico out of A and essentially left that round decided to one kill, one spray that JKS couldn't convert. Liquid get it done with nothing. But that is still only the first round they fielded on T side since that pistol. It can't be a flash in the pan, it has to be more. They stay above the water, but they're bobbing, not swimming.
And Naf normally Mr. Consistent, off to a bit of a slow start here. They've got to figure out a way to get him switched online. Smoke spam comes up neither which way. Nico hanging around in middle. Now, his aggression here has been a bit of a focal point, but Elige is in a great spot to shut that down. Also gives a lot more space to these guys down in the canals to pick and choose their battles. They don't have to worry about Nico coming in through middle. But in the meantime, G2 are making moves.
Yeah, very proactive, and with no info to give it away as well. They haven't thrown much util. They're just creeping on the back line. Liquid don't know it, but the door's closing. That window of opportunity, even though they've taken space, they may get shot in the back where they stand.
Hunter's right here. It's all lined up for him. There's the double. Drops the bomb in that fight as well, and even though Elige comes back to try and deal with him, the damage has been done. Hunter won't let off. Relentless aggression here. Not another one. Yakinda tries to succeed where many have failed, and he will pull it off, but it's just one kill. A 3-for-1 in Hunter's favor. G2 will take that every damn day.
Ooh, they're going to push the boat out, though. Quite literally, Nico walking under scope of Nitro. And Yakinda also just gave it a jiggle. How has Nico gotten here? He's threaded the needle not once but twice, but climbing up could be one step too far, one jump too high. Nitro calls for Yakinda, who shoots him back, but 10 seconds is still a save. G2 get it done off of one little flank. And what a play for Hunter as well. We talk about Naf being the consistent piece of Liquid. That's Hunter for G2, right? He is such a solid, reliable player. No matter the stakes, no matter the group stage or the stage, he can do it. I mean, since starting playing Tier 1 events back in 2018, Hunter's barely had any negative events. I think he's had 2 negative events rated in 5 years of play. Such a solid player. There's a reason Nico wanted him by his side, and it's not just blood. 13-10. It was a flash in the pan. Liquid can't celebrate for long off of that eco win as G2 pick up pace, pick up steam, and storm towards the finish line. 3 timeouts. This game is not done. But Liquid are leaking.
And I mean, that can hurt them down the stretch. You know, if they end up having to try and grind back into this late in this map, they're going to feel the pressure of having only that one timeout left, that one chance for Dabs to weigh in. They haven't even uncovered the double AWP yet either. That was run last round, but they only saw Monacy.
This is nice considering the setup. There's only JKS here. He let us down last time. He can't afford to do it again.
Yeah, entrusted with the A-hold. It is just one player, V5. He's calling for the rotates, and this time Nico will be here to help him. JKS blinded and knocked off the angle. This time the reinforcements are here. The cavalry is moving in. Monacy from the heavens looks to lock it down. And with support from Hooksy, they've made mincemeat of Team Liquid in this one. Just OC left, back of the pack, the bomb away from him. And a 1v3 to try and find. Smoke in his face only worsens the problem. And that flash sends him back through the smoke. They've got him pinned in now.
Oh, they're taking so much space. This is really nice as well. Making sure he can't even sneak through that smoke again. He checks for a flank that's not apparent. A timer resets as a smoke lands. And he looks for a shot, but that wood will be heard by Monacy. Gotta watch out. No guarantee for the save. G2 even have a little bit of money if they want to go chasing at the end here, but OC's already called it off. He knows it's won by G2. It's too far gone. So 14 rounds. And the difference there is the util doesn't come in. That molly and connector, either it's smoked or it's never thrown by Liquid. Because remember last time, Nico got locked out by a Molotov and he couldn't take any space. This time smokes it, goes right through. Monacy follows as well, and they just trade peaks. Liquid can't even get set up.
Yeah, that's a really nice adaptation, right? Normally, Nico's been throwing that smoke in over towards mid, but he kept it till later in the round. And this was one of the things yesterday, right? In that matchup versus Vitality, I think one of the biggest problems that that team has is that sometimes they don't adapt. They don't catch up to what their opponent's doing. G2 are a whole different beast. They will make those changes, those tiny micro decisions that can feel insignificant, but paint a far bigger, a far greater picture. Those little adjustments there rescue that round, and I think even having a save in that situation hurts so much for Liquid. The fact that you're sat there for the better part of a minute just stewing in the fact that this map is getting away from you.
Well, look, let's hope they use that time wisely, because you talk adapting, you talk overcoming. Liquid haven't shown us anything in this T side to be interested with. Only one round since the pistol, and it was off the back of an entry kill that couldn't get traded. They need this one. Nico won't give it away, not for free. Mollies and retreats, picks up a bounty of util left by his team, and we have this bait and switch that was oh so viable for OC. Can Liquid break through? Elige has good luck. A lot of space allowed by Nico, but m0NESY's taking it back.
Pushing up, Nitro up close. There's another missed shot for m0NESY, but a second chance at it. And he nails it.
This is desperate for Liquid.
Here's the thing, when you see that AWP over towards A, you know some contingencies have to be made. You know that that B site might be a little weaker. Maybe Nico over in mid could be your way in, but he's not going to give you it for free. A one and done, and m0NESY moves over with that AWP. Naf all alone, bottom of the board in the 1v3, but he has been given a route into this B bomb site. The only man nearby, Hunter, down in dark. Naf with a chance, he's going to go hunting, but HooXi's on this angle, missed shot out of the captain for G2. That's given Naf a chance. Hunter's trying to close the net here, but he can't jump the gun. Out from dark, he'll spam Naf out of the round, and G2, they cruise onto map point here, looking to steal Liquid's map pick in this series away.
15-10, 5 map points on their opponent's pick, and still nothing to celebrate in the T side for Liquid. It is a perfect setup for G2 to steal this series away, to set us up for a 2-0. And m0NESY's hitting every single shot. G2 are playing aggressive CT sides in mid-rounds. Hunter's been flanking B. Liquid cannot get comfortable. They are shelter in place right now.
This G2 squad have come together. The perfect storm. And HooXi, while he might not be bringing the numbers in a big way, he is like Thor, God of thunder, God of the skies on this one. He's called a fantastic CT side, very varied, constantly keeping Liquid on the edge of their seat. You can never get comfortable here. G2 are the ones dictating the pace. And Liquid are running out of time, running out of chances. They've got one more go at it, and they've got to do it without a leash.
And what a recovery for Nico. He was mid, he was near bottom of the board in that first half. He has resurged on this CT side, and his cousin in Hunter comes up with another 5-on-3. No storm to weather today for Liquid. They are getting washed aside by the oncoming tide. Hunter drops that smoke. Liquid have to brute force their way through, but amassed, assaulted by utility. The door is closed.
All across the map, anywhere you go, you're gonna meet resistance here. G2 have taken so much control that Liquid are boxed in. JKS with a big play through the spawn. Nitro is knifed out and dead. OC with the reply, but it's still overwhelming odds against Team Liquid here.
We haven't even seen m0NESY. He's even pushed through as well. Naf crumbles. OC, he's had a fantastic map, but that may be all we see as G2 edge their way to victory on the first map of their semi-final. There were questions. There was caution in that T side, but it's all come together at the right time.
They've brought their A game here, and they're one kill away from going a map up in this semi-final. One map closer to meeting the likes of Heroics in the grand final tomorrow. It's just OC between them and that goal, and time is against him. Players are against him. It's all against Liquid here. G2, step up, stand up, and deliver.